It's a scam. Reputable tech news publishers like PC World are using their reputations to promote impossible deals disguised as reviews, which keep screwing people over. We're talking lifetime access to AI, VPNs, cloud storage, services which cost the seller every single time you use it, and they're supposedly going to give it to you forever for one low flat rate. No, capped upside with infinite liability is only viable for companies too big to fail with a money printing sugar daddy. OpenAI, maybe. 1min AI, no. But don't worry, these companies understand economics better than ethics. Here is PC World reporting that flat rate AI subscriptions are becoming economically untenable. Here is also PC World 4 days later selling not just flat rate, but lifetime access to AI. And the great part is almost all of these offers are technically offered through affiliate networks, not the actual publisher. Meaning when it's time to face the music, everyone just points at each other in vague terms of service and no one actually has to take any accountability. It's not the type of arrangement you or I could get away with, loaning our reputations while disowning any of the consequences, but hey, slap an LLC on and the courts will smile upon you. Yes, it says sponsored, which is apparently the magic spell that makes it obviously an advertisement. Never mind that it's hosted on PCWorld.com under the PC World logo and formatted like a PC World article and distributed through news aggregators as PC World content and written in the voice of a recommendation. You might remember the recent VPN secure debacle. They ran these exact lifetime offers for years and then, like any good pyramid scheme, needed new suckers to fund everyone else, allegedly. They found this in another company which acquired VPN secure and either was wholly incompetent and did zero due diligence, or which decided there was plausible deniability to feign ignorance and do exactly what they did. The new owner said, oops, we didn't know about the lifetime accounts. We definitely can't honor that. Or how about Ivacy VPN, now Pure VPN, which defined lifetime as 5 years. Now, I don't know any humans who define lifetime as 5 years, but maybe they're just really into guinea pigs. Either way, that's better than just outright shutting down like Bullet VPN. And it's not all just VPNs which are inherently shady. Polar Backup offered lifetime cloud storage until coming to the stunning realization that the model had become unsustainable, and then they implemented a monthly maintenance fee. Their TOS is the fee is optional, at least in the sense that you are free to stop paying it and lose access to the lifetime license you already purchased, and oh, you probably won't actually be able to access your data until you start paying it in the first place. And this is already in addition to an incredibly hostile terms of service which states 6 ways from Sunday that they have every right to terminate you however they want, including if you don't connect to their service for 90 days. You know, exactly the type of reasonable behavior you would expect from a service you bought to back up your most important data for life. Don't worry though, if you're looking for an incredibly generous company, how about Internext? I assume that's how you pronounce it. As long as they don't decide that you're a burden to their company, you might get an entire year of inactivity out of them. Wait too long though, and they'll decide that you have turned 99 years old and therefore your lifetime service has obviously ended. I'm not making this up. As someone who runs what is essentially a cloud storage service that I'm not here to advertise, trust me, this was all predictable long before any of these services ever launched. No one is going to offer lifetime storage at a price and terms that anyone can actually stomach. Not with current economics, and definitely not if you're trying to predict the entire curve of hardware, electricity, and real estate prices 50 years into the future. The past 2 years have shown the folly of that. And of course, all roads lead to AI, and the economics are even worse there. Yet somehow they're still finding ways to sell you lifetime and unlimited AI. 1min AI discovered a perpetual motion machine to bring you 4 million monthly credits of GPT and Claude for life. Bonus credits if you leave a review, of course. Although apparently their credits have taken the Zimbabwe hyperinflation approach and are effectively worthless. But even if 1 million credits were 1 cent and they were getting fraudulent API access at pennies on the dollar, which I would not be surprised about, lifetime would still not be sustainable. Unless maybe they have an alternative revenue stream, maybe selling or exfiltrating your sensitive data. But I mean, they wouldn't do anything sketchy, would they? These are trustworthy American companies, right? While the Europeans vomit over that statement, we can check Google Maps. Yup, American. At least until you realize it's a $50 virtual office shared by 600 companies, meaning their actual headquarters is somewhere here. If you're able to trace these companies anywhere, you end up in Vietnam or Ukraine or Anguilla or anywhere where you'd expect. But wait, Chat Playground has an actual prestigious Silicon Valley address a stone's throw from Google. It's some guy's house. Presumably this guy, the owner, who, props to him, is very, very visible on LinkedIn, which takes some courage when you consider how many of his customers claim he scammed them. And I'm inclined to believe them because in this guy's own words, he hoped that his fellow classmates would forget to cancel their free trials. Oh yeah, fancy new house and car guy is apparently still a student at UC Berkeley. But his spelling is just as awful as the average American, which makes sense because, again, in his own words, he almost never goes to class. God bless America and Gen Z. And his company even lists 2 overseas employees who really inspire confidence in things like data security and privacy and matching his professional decorum. Hiring only 2 employees, one from India and one from Pakistan, is a bold move. It's either complete dysfunction or the most brutally efficient, hyper-competitive workplace in the entire world, second only to maybe some Israeli-Palestinian odd couple that might exist somewhere. Probably selling proxies. What was I saying? Or you have the more fiscally responsible Chat On, which at least explicitly says 5 years, not lifetime, but still reserves broad rights to modify subscription plans or terminate the agreement at the company's discretion. So who's actually pushing all these deals? Because PC World is probably not sending its investigative reporters out to uncover the hottest new opportunities in artificial intelligence. That would presumably require investigating. No, these offers are usually sourced through affiliate networks like AppSumo or Stack Commerce's Stack Social, either directly or through their white label stores, which use the publisher's own branding. Same products, descriptions, reviews, same suggested retail price, which appears to be calculated by AI hallucination, but the logo and the colors are different. Stack Commerce also produces what it calls native commerce content, which is industry jargon for promotional articles which appear alongside a publisher's normal articles. The publisher supplies the traffic and reputation. Stack Commerce supplies the advertisement. The reader supplies the money, and the vendor supplies maybe the product. Stack Commerce claims its model can generate substantially higher commissions than traditional affiliate programs. No kidding. One looks like an advertisement. The other looks like a recommendation from a company whose entire raison d'etre is being an authoritative source within its niche. God, that was disgustingly French. But don't worry, Stack Commerce says they work hard to find partners that are in it for the long haul. To which I say fantastic, but you should probably replace whoever's doing that job. I could go on, but I won't, because maybe it just doesn't actually matter. Maybe I'm just a dinosaur who still reads the news instead of having some kid with a camera and fifth-hand news source form my opinion for me through memes. But to that, I have 2 words: TikTok shop or brand deal. Oh, thanks to Honey for sponsoring today's video. But when the inevitable happens, there are no follow-ups, no apologies, no acknowledgement of the scam and the role they played. They just take money from the next fly-by-night company that comes along offering a new scam business proposition, and which might even be run by the exact same people who ran the previous scam company. How can you ever be trusted to be an honest, impartial reviewer who sticks up for the average consumer when your entire business model relies on misleading the people who trust you most? I mean, I guess that is the whole influencer model, but I just expect less from people screaming at cameras. Now, I am not an internet sleuth or a scam baiter. That's someone else's job, so save your frivolous libel lawsuit money for them. But the point is, the headlines alone set off alarm bells for me, and 5 minutes of research poke huge holes in their claims. I shouldn't have to point any of this out because these offers should have never seen the light of day. Regardless of the nuance of implementation and terms of service and whether any of this is actually illegal, which it's probably not. It's obvious to me that nearly everyone making a purchase of these products is not getting what they think they're getting from the advertisements, and that is, by colloquial definition, a scam. So how about we just not do that? And I don't want to hear any of, oh, we're sorry, we weren't aware. No, if you're deep enough in the tech industry that you're writing articles or making videos on tech, it should be painfully obvious that these are unsustainable businesses guaranteed to burn your followers or customers one way or another. Either you are unqualified for your job or you're a grifter, which whatever. Go find another occupation. Maybe run for president.